All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're mapping out something huge, exactly how the world's most influential leaders aren't just using AI to speed things up, they are using it to totally overhaul how they make decisions. If you've been watching the massive shifts in global influence lately, you know that leadership styles are fundamentally changing. We're moving away from a world where humans just blindly execute tasks and stepping into an era where human judgment directs incredibly powerful digital agents. So we're going to dive into the data today and see exactly how that transition is happening at the very top. Now, look at this quote. It perfectly sets our baseline for everything we're talking about today. Technology is really just the tool, right? Human judgment is the ultimate differentiator. It's so easy to get caught up in the hype of the latest AI models, but the real story is how leaders actually choose to deploy them. The organizations that are pulling ahead are the ones making thoughtful, strategic choices to shape this transformation rather than just letting the tech steer the ship. So here is our game plan for today. We'll start with the 2026 power landscape, move into AI winners versus watchers, look at business titans scaling AI, dive into geopolitics and tech dominance, discuss the rise of non-state actors, and wrap it all up with the human-led AI future. Let's go. Kicking things off with Section 1, the 2026 power landscape. Look at this spread. In 2026, power is definitely not a monolith. It flows through entirely different spheres of influence. You've got political heavyweights like Xi Jinping shaping global geopolitics, business titans like Jensen Huang at NVIDIA, who literally control the physical hardware making AI possible, and spiritual leaders like Mojtaba Khamenei guiding the deeply rooted beliefs of millions. Power today requires navigating all of these overlapping domains, and the way these leaders integrate technology into their daily decision-making, it sends ripples across the entire globe instantly. Moving right along to Section 2, AI winners versus watchers. This is where a massive dividing line is being drawn across all those global domains. It turns out over a third of companies, about 37%, are basically just standing on the sidelines. They're what we call watchers, running basic, surface-level experiments without actually changing how their business works. But the winners, that 34%, they are completely tearing down and reinventing how work gets done. They understand that integrating AI into decision-making requires a total reimagination of their core workflows, not just bolting a new app onto an old system. So what exactly are those winners doing? Well, they're seizing three huge opportunities. First up, digital labor. They treat AI agents like actual coworkers to unlock massive capacity. Second, they face the reimagination dilemma head-on. They aren't just making old processes slightly faster, they're totally rethinking them from the ground up. And third, governance at speed. They thoughtfully balance centralized standards with the ability to execute incredibly fast, all without eroding public trust. Let's zoom in on the corporate world. Section 3, Business Titans Scaling AI. Take Satya Nadella and Sundar Pichai, for example. These guys have taken absolute legacy behemoths and successfully flipped them into comprehensive AI-first ecosystems. Nadella transformed Microsoft by deeply weaving generative AI into the very fabric of enterprise software. Meanwhile, Pichai has transitioned Alphabet to an AI-first model with Gemini, and he's expanding aggressively with a massive $15 billion AI hub in India. Their leadership styles are completely changing how millions of executives make everyday decisions. $850 billion. Let that sink in for a second. That staggering number is Elon Musk's net worth, and it's driven by this wild, totally unique approach to leadership. He's horizontally merging AI with aerospace through XAI and SpaceX to build a vertically integrated innovation engine. Musk isn't just coding software, he is integrating AI directly into physical infrastructure, proving that the most powerful leaders out there are seamlessly blending the digital and physical worlds. But you don't just have to build rockets to hold that kind of influence. Look at figures like Mark Zuckerberg and Chuan Fu. Zuckerberg is leveraging Meta's massive reach and their open-source llama models to push toward what he calls superintelligence, effectively building an alternative to closed AI ecosystems. Over in China, Chuan Fu has turned BYD into a global powerhouse by vertically integrating electric vehicle manufacturing with AI battery tech, driving sustainable transport across 70 different countries. Now, check this out. 300,000. That's the number of paid, fully autonomous rides Waymo is pulling off every single week under co-CEO Takidra Mawakana. Think about that for a second. This proves that scaling AI into physical robotics is literally a multi-trillion-dollar frontier. This isn't some theoretical future. This is happening right now on the streets of 5 major cities, completely transforming urban infrastructure. All right, zooming out from the business world, let's hit Section 4, geopolitics and tech dominance. On the global stage, this is essentially a massive technological arms race. You've got the US leaning heavily on its enduring historical advantages, think global alliances like NATO, unmatched higher education, and the sheer innovation engine of Silicon Valley. On the flip side, China is sprinting toward total tech self-reliance. Through state-sponsored initiatives like Made in China 2025, they are heavily backing R&D to dominate global digital ecosystems and high-tech sectors like 5G and AI. And looking at the data neutrally, it's absolutely clear that globally influential figures, whether it's Donald Trump, Xi Jinping, or Vladimir Putin, hold this immense structural power. They use deep economic and military strategies to literally redefine international technology and security norms. By integrating AI directly into their national strategies, their decisions have the power to either rapidly accelerate or seriously bottleneck global progress. But it's not just governments and big tech. Section 5. The rise of non-state actors. You see, technology is fundamentally leveling the playing field for non-state actors. Because they aren't bogged down by traditional bureaucratic red tape, these groups can move with shocking agility. Whether it's hacktivist collectives or unregulated biotech startups, they're deploying AI to deliver tailored solutions or conduct highly sophisticated cyber operations. They're completely bypassing traditional state governance to directly shape global norms. It's honestly like a giant puzzle. This image brilliantly illustrates how complex global networks and millions of financial transactions can be mathematically modeled. By using advanced AI, analysts can reveal these hidden webs of influence that totally ignore traditional geography. It just goes to show that in 2026, power isn't just about where you are on a map, it's about your position within massive complex data networks. Which brings us to our final takeaway, Section 6, the human-led AI future. So, bringing all this immense technological and geopolitical complexity back down to earth, what does it mean for you? Well, the organizations that actually pull ahead treat AI as an amplifier, not a replacement. This is the core of human-led, AI-powered leadership. You hand off the routine, heavy data crunching to digital agents. And by doing that, you completely transform your decision-making process, freeing yourself up to lean into what humans actually do best: strategic creativity, empathy, and deep ethical judgment. I'm going to leave you with this one provocative question to chew on regarding your own leadership style. You've seen how the most powerful people on Earth are leveraging this once-in-a-generation turning point. So, are you leading the AI transition to totally reinvent your own work, or are you just watching it happen from the sidelines? Because the greatest differentiator in this future isn't going to be the AI. It's going to be you and the strategic decisions you make today. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep questioning how you can lead in this radically changing landscape.